Okay, now we're going to turn our attention to SmoothEdit 4, which is the new edit cart screen inside Myriad 4. So to access the edit cart screen, you click on a cart you want to edit and then click on the edit button and it'll load up the edit cart screen. Very similar to the version 3 screen in a lot of respects, but a lot of things have been moved around to make them a bit more accessible and a little bit more logical in the way that it works. So the top bit here, we've got the title and artist information and description. We've also got the content type where we can set it to be a music and we can set what category it should be in, and also the ending type, and we can listen to the end just to make sure that that is indeed what we think it is. That's all okay. Now we've got larger transport controls down the bottom here, so I can control the audio playback using the buttons down here. The waveform display itself is a bit bigger, and we've got zoom in, zoom out buttons here, or we could use the wheel on the mouse just as we've always been able to. And then along the bottom here is where we set the intros, extros and hooks. One of the first things you might notice is the intro mid. Now this is a new feature in Myriad 4 and it basically allows you to put a midpoint into your intro period, which can be used for either a soft intro or an alternative intro. It's actually off by default, so when you first install Myriad 4 you wouldn't have this option. The reason being that in order to accommodate that, we've had to change the audio wall structure slightly. So once you turn on intro mid, basically your audio wall becomes incompatible with Myriad version 3, so by default it's off so that you can maintain compatibility. So let's see how we set an intro and an extro. Just as before, you can hit play and listen to the beginning of the track and click on the button here to set your intro start, intro mid or intro end. Just going to turn this down a second. Okay, so I've missed my intro there, so let's jump back a little bit. Now what you can do here is I could set my intro end there, but that's actually wrong. So this button here allows me to zoom backwards, a bit like a CD player, looking for the item that the time that I want to actually set the intro. So if I just missed it there, just click on that button. Each time I click it, it's actually knocking the intro time back a tiny bit, and then if I hold it down, it kind of searches back frame at a time so that you can kind of set your intro period nicely. This button here allows us to review what we've just set, so we can kind of review it very quickly. So let's move on to setting our hook. Exactly the same process. And extro. Set it there. Now we can click on these buttons here to review our intro or review our hook. And we've got a new button here called A-Extro or Auto Extro. If we click on that button, what that does is it scans the audio and sets an extro based on some criteria that you set in the settings. So essentially it automatically sets an extro for you. Just to finish things off, on the other tabs where we've got the notes, the copyright information and the pictures that are carried over from the previous system. All this is using the preview waveform. Of course, if you want to, we could save this and we could go into the full editor, which is where we can actually edit the audio, and this is very similar to the previous versions of SmoothEdit.